It has been a few weeks since I came back from my Vipassana 10-day retreat, and I've decided to finally record this video and tell you all about it, tell you all the thoughts, even though every single day whilst I was there, I had different opinion about the entire course. So it took me a while to put it all together. It is a difficult experience in a way. However, in general, I would say I experienced it positively, even though I was ready to pack my bags and walk away on day 6. Actually, take it back. I actually packed my bags and I was ready to leave. But I'll tell you about it later on. First of all, I will begin with things that I agreed with and things that I didn't agree with. So, as you know, I have been on the spiritual journey for a few years and I have been elevating my consciousness and I have been helping others to do the same. First of all, Goenka is a brilliant teacher and the course is done from his recordings from so many years ago when he did it in the UK. His teaching, these courses that we watched every evening were brilliant. He's a very persuasive speaker. He speaks in the way that you resonate, you laugh at your own misery of sitting disciplined for hours and hours. And you can really resonate with what he's saying because he's speaking with stories. He's speaking his truth with stories that you can truly resonate because you come across it in life. And I really love the Hindu stories that I've been learning for the past few years too, because they really bring the essence of living with nature. And I would very much recommend doing this just for the teachings because they were brilliant and I really enjoyed them. During the course, we had to abstain from 5 things. So the first thing was to live without harming anyone else or no killing. I think I apply more of a yogic perspective to it, which includes no harm, which is a little bit broader than no killing because you can harm someone by your words and that doesn't necessarily kill that person, but it kills something in them on the more emotional level that's not so physical. I think that's one of the things that I would add to the no killing policy. And this includes animals, insects, and all the beings that potentially you would kill without thinking about it. So it really gets you to live the more conscious life. The next thing was truthfulness, which I actually agree with as well. No stealing, no intoxicants, and no sexual activities. So these were 5 things that we had to abide by for the duration of the course. Another thing that I loved and I experienced very positively throughout the course was the silence of the mind. So because there are no distractions and you don't talk to each other, and there is a specific routine that you get to do every single day. You really get deep into the meditation, which I haven't experienced before. I experienced what I thought was deep state of meditation, but during Vipassana, I actually experienced much deeper meditation states, even to the point where I actually experienced my previous life, glimpses of my previous life. So I've never experienced that before, but during Vipassana, I did. So silence of the mind has really worked here very well, and you can really tell how much the silence is helping in meditation because on day 10, we can start speaking to each other. We can get to know each other's stories or the experiences from this technique. And then we go on a sitting for the meditation, and it takes the whole hour to calm the mind, to process everything that's been said that happened before you actually move on to the very deep meditation state. So it really shows that the silence is really a key to experiencing meditation essence and to really experience this dissolvement of the body and perhaps go even deeper into your body and into yourself. The next thing that I loved as well was the teachings of the concentration before we actually dived into the practice of Vipassana. The concentration is so important, and we know it from yoga. Yoga is based on 8 limbs of yoga, which actually gives you the pathway towards liberation. But I will create a different video about it, and I will talk in more detail about this pathway that you essentially follow, and you get better at different things throughout this path, and then that takes you to the liberation. And one of the things is withdrawal of senses, concentration, then there is a meditation, and only then there is a meditation, because if there is lack of concentration, if you can't focus, if you get distracted, if your mind goes there and you get distracted by sounds around you and it irritates you and creates emotional reaction, then you can't get into meditation because you're just not at the right frame of mind. So the teachings of Goenka, I believe, work really close with the teachings of yoga, even though the teachings of Goenka came from Buddha, but he actually mentions these yogis um, and different paths of yoga throughout his course. So I have noticed that he's mentioning the path of devotion and the path of knowledge, which are actually two different paths of yoga, and there are four. So again, I will create a different video about it because I want to talk more about the lessons that I've learned and that really helped me and that may help you as well if you want to get deeper into the art of living, into the living with nature. And the moment you start living with nature, that's the moment where your life begins to change. And I'm not saying this because I've read it from the book. I'm not saying this because I've confirmed it from quantum physics, which I did, but I actually experienced it in my own life. And this is why I'm recording this video to share with you the Vipassana, but also my own experience and how I'm seeing it from a different, broader perspective. The next thing was the food. The food was absolutely amazing. It was brilliant. Every day I was looking forward to the lunch, especially. So the code of discipline was also to not eat any food after 1 o'clock. However, for the new students, you can actually have two pieces of fruit during dinner, and you can have whatever fruit they provide. So I would normally have apple and banana or banana and orange, and I would just have two pieces of fruit. But to be honest, I loved this way of eating, and to my surprise, I was not hungry. I thought I might be hungry, and I was a little bit apprehensive, especially that in my life here, I would normally skip breakfast and I would have later or early lunch, and then I would have dinner. So I actually had a different pattern in my life with food. But the transition was smooth, the transition was easy, the food was amazing. And I think it actually helped that we had breakfast and then we had lunch so close to each other, because then you get really full and you give your body what it needs. So then for the later period of the time, you can sit in the meditation with the empty stomach or with the stomach that's not full as such. And actually, yoga is teaching us to only eat to our 80% capacity of the stomach. And actually, that's not only yoga, but that's Ayurveda, but they are like sisters. Yoga is giving you more of a moral, disciplined code of how to live, and Ayurveda is teaching you the essence of eating healthy and being healthy, and how to heal your body from the natural living. Now, let's dive into the two things that I didn't agree with. And these two things are the sitting disciplined, which I get it, and it is important during the meditation. And before I say why I don't agree with it, and there is a second point is actually joined with this. Before I move on to this, I want to say that lack of movement is very important, because when you are disciplined, when you are sitting without moving, when you feel the sensations in the body that is like a ticklish, or you feel very itchy, or you've got something that's trying to stop your meditation practice, when you move and when you react to it, it's destructive. During the technique, you learn that every single sensation that you may experience actually means something. So we really got deep into the psychosomatic, which again is my absolute I absolutely love studying psychosomatic and understanding how the body is connected with the mind. And during the technique, you really cultivate the psychosomatic experience because the technique is to pay attention to any sensations that might appear in the body, whether it's bad or whether it's good, speaking, because on the ground scale of scheme it's not bad and it's not good. It just is, and it's always changing. So during the technique, you start noticing the attachments and aversion, and the process of doing this technique is to not react to the things that are happening that are good or that are bad, and we're using the bodily sensations to practice that. And then, of course, you should take it to your life and start doing the same things with the outside world. But you have to practice at something, right? And the body, I mean, we received all the tools we need for happy and peaceful living. We have the body, we have the sensations, we have the whole nature, the whole universe packed in us. The whole guide is through our chakras, and we are the only beings on this earth that have access to these tools within ourselves. So we really don't need anything else from the outside world to practice the elevation of our consciousness. So discipline is very important, and I don't want to take anything away from it. However, the reason I don't necessarily agree with it for this particular technique is because there is no mention of preparation the body for long sittings of meditation. It's like they skipped the entire thing from that is really important, because you will have distractions. I mean, the pains in your body are signaling three things. One, your body is not prepared. It's weak, it's not strong enough to be sitting like this for the entire for so long. And this is the sign of pain. The pain is the signal from your body to you that something is not right. So one, the body isn't strong enough. Two, you might have issues in your body. There are some problems that the pain is signaling to you. And three, your position is incorrect. So there was no mentioning of what the position is, like what sort of position you can take, how you can adjust yourself. There was no teachings of that. And in yoga, this is part of the 8 limbs of yoga. You need to get your body ready for the meditation, because if you have aches in your body, if you have problems in your body, this is the main distraction, right? So you can't get into the sensations that are going to help you elevate your consciousness. Or, there are no sensations that are good or bad, and it's all about detachments from this. So, um, but what I want to say is that the physical pain that you might be experiencing, at least from my point of view, some of it might actually mean your body right now isn't ready, and there was no mention of preparing the body. And the second thing that I mentioned, which is very much connected to it, they actually mentioned not to do yoga, not to do exercise, not to run. For the entire period of 10 days, you can only go for a walk. And that's a big thing why I'm attaching this to disciplined sittings. Because one, your body might not be ready. There is no mention to do exercise or to prepare your body for it. And three, they actually tell you not to do it. And in the booklet, it says that yoga might be quite helpful, but they still tell you not to do it. So I will be recording another video of how I would prepare myself for this 10-day course and train the discipline in different ways in your life, because I'm all about discipline. So now, why did I want to live on day 6? Actually, few people left. There was, I saw seats getting emptied. I think from our female side, there was 6 people that left. There was over 100 people on the course, at least in my course. And on day 5, I began to have sciatica pain in my left leg. On day 6, I began to have sciatica pain in my right leg. And I had this pain that I could not straighten my legs. I could not bend my legs. The whole time it was very painful and it just wouldn't go away. It was going all the way from my hip, all the way down my leg. My perception from disagreeing with lack of movement, lack of yoga, knowing what I could do for myself to help myself with this pain, to not experience it from the physical perspective, I was really against this technique for that one day where I knew that my body needs some release from this pain, and the pain is coming from the disciplined sittings of an hour long, 2 hours long, 3 hours long, because it was 3 times during the day we had to sit disciplined like this. For the rest of time, we could move during the meditation, or we could meditate in our own rooms. So I was very much against this, and I knew in myself that there are people that are struggling more than me. So I was very much against this, but I decided to stay. I spoke with the teacher, and I've decided that I've already given it 6 days and I will do the rest. However, I have decided to do few different poses from yoga that are tailored to sciatica nerve, and it really helped me, and I could actually sit during the meditation sitting on the floor as I did before. After day 6, when I let go of the ego, then I allowed myself to really experience the technique, and we actually got deeper into the practice of Vipassana as the days go through. So you start with preparation, like it's kind of like the course is set that every day you dive deeper if you are ready for diving deeper into the Vipassana technique. I really enjoyed it. However, there was ups and downs, and I'm really impressed with everyone who stayed, who finished the course, with the people that are coming back constantly. However, I, in myself, I don't think this is the only way to achieve enlightenment, achieve the peace and harmony in your day-to-day life. Um, like I said, I have been practicing different techniques. Well, I have been practicing yoga, the true yoga science, and I have been applying this to my life. And my life has begun to take entirely new shape because I have been observing. It is truly about cultivating this concentration, the ability to observe, and the knowing that everything is temporary. It's the Maya illusion that things are permanent. They are not. They are not permanent. Everything that happens, whether it's pleasurable or not pleasurable, it's going to change. So it's cultivating this acceptance that everything is changing. The nature is changing all the time, and we can see it outside in the world, in seasons, in the day and night, in the rain and sun. Everything is always changing and is never the same, and we can't expect the same thing in our life. The cause of misery is the attachment and aversion, because these are the two things that we cultivate, whether we know it or not, whether we are aware of it or not. We are cultivating attachment to the nice things. This person made me feel nice. He gave me these flowers, and this this act of him giving me the flowers gave me this warm feeling inside of the body, and I really like this feeling. So now I want more of this feeling. We begin to draw attachment to it, and we expect that person to make us feel this way. But in time, no matter what that person will do or not do, we might get detached from this feeling and we don't feel this anymore, and we are craving this, and then we're creating attachment and craving towards this. And on the other side, something bad is happening to us, and it's painful. We didn't deserve it. I mean, yes, it happens, and we cultivate this aversion towards it. We don't want this to happen. We want this, but this is happening, and then we're creating this mental fight um, that is only coming from our ego. But the moment we cultivating the observance and not reacting to those things, it doesn't mean that you're not supposed to be happy. Be happy, but know that this is going to pass. It's not that you can't be sad for a moment, or but know that it's going to pass. Don't feel stuck in this fight of your emotions, because emotions is just energy in motion. It travels, it moves. And by understanding this, by seeing clearly as the Vipassana technique is teaching us, you can really start applying this to your life on a daily basis. But is Vipassana the only way? I don't think so, and that's not how I experienced it. And the teachings that I've learned are teaching you this in your day-to-day life, and the practices that you do through working with me uh, is teaching that as well. So Vipassana is not the only way, but would I recommend it? Yes, I would recommend it. I think it is created in such a way that's really helping you to understand yourself on a very deep level, understand the sensations in the body, and create distance from them. Not to be detached from it and to ignore it. That's not what I mean. To really see it, face it, feel it, observe it, and allow it to pass. And this is really what you can learn from this technique. And I think it's going to be really helpful for a lot of people. But before you do it, prepare yourself. This is my main advice. Prepare your body, prepare your mind, because it's going to help you get into 10-day course and truly take benefits from it. I mean, Goenka is mentioning that there are people that are coming back, coming back, coming back, and they don't see results in their life. There are people like this, and that's because they don't practice it in their life. He calls it, you just play sensation game, because you just observe sensations and they go and go and go and go. But if you're not using this technique in your real life, if you're not going to take lessons from it and apply it to your life, plant little seeds everywhere and wait for them to grow, then you're missing the point. And I think preparation is the key. And I often say, if you don't prepare, you are preparing to fail. So that's it for now. I hope you find it useful. And if you have any comments, if you want to ask any questions based on this, then please let me know in the comments. And if you like this video, like and subscribe. I would love to have you on my channel, and I would love to share more of the consciousness and different practices with you that can really help you harmonize your life and live in harmony.